Well, the Razorback season ends in overtime heartbreak, falling to Texas Tech. What's next for Arkansas? Plus, fan reactions to the stunning loss coming up. And a text messaging scam is resurfacing. How the Arkansas Attorney General is warning against toll road scammers. Ahead.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at Noon.
Well, thank you for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with Joshua Weisel. And a lot of Razorback fans are a little disappointed today, but kind of proud of a hard-fought fight, I would say, too.
Yeah, super proud of the team. It wasn't what we all wanted. And, you know, Mother Nature has kind of some fitting weather for us this afternoon, kind of that gloomy, sad, rainy outdoors kind of a look.
We've been off to a good start, so give us the bad news, I guess.
All right, so unfortunately I got to be the bearer of bad news. Let's take a look outside here, and you can see with the radar, a complex of showers are moving into the area. Some pockets of moderate to slightly heavy rainfall at times. It's not going to be continuous heavy rainfall, so we're not talking insane amounts of totals in terms of rainfall, but some areas are getting some beneficial rainfall that we desperately need. So we're going to be welcoming this rain activity as it moves through the area. Now, it is starting to move into portions of northwest Arkansas, so if you haven't seen the rain yet, you may see it over the next couple of hours, so just keep that in mind. Current temperatures right now, it's right around a mild temperature in the 60s for northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Some areas are a little bit warmer further to the south, but overall with that cloud cover, it feels relatively nice out there. But you will want a rain jacket for the next several hours. We're talking rain through at least the mid-afternoon hours into maybe even portions of the late afternoon. Highs are going to be in the upper 60s. Those clouds will continue to be with us throughout the day. River Valley, same thing. We're going to see those rain chances for the next several hours, and then we'll reach those highs in the 70s, but we're going to keep those clouds across the area as well. So what we're going to be talking about here in the main forecast segment is we have those rain chances, not only today, but we have a couple different rain chances on the horizon, including some chances for storms this weekend. We'll let you know with a look ahead coming up.
Thanks, Joshua. Well, the Razorbacks roller coaster season came to a crushing end in the Sweet 16. Arkansas blew a 16-point second-half lead against Texas Tech, falling in overtime in a heartbreaking loss. A stunning collapse in San Francisco, Arkansas, its season slip away in the final minutes against Texas Tech. The Hogs led by, as we just said, as many as 16 points before Texas Tech stormed back, tying the game in the final seconds and sealing the win in overtime 85-83. Despite the tough loss, some fans remain hopeful that brighter days are ahead for the Razorbacks.
I think it was a very hard-fought game all throughout, very entertaining from end to end. Disappointing result, but I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm really excited to see what Calipari's done this season and what he'll do going forward, and the roster he's developed and the talent he's brought in. And, you know, it's a disappointing end.
Well, after a tough Sweet 16 exit, the focus now shifts to what's next for Arkansas. Several Razorbacks could test the NBA draft waters while Coach John Calipari looks to reload with new recruits and transfers. Well, national news, the Vice President, Second Lady, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz are traveling to Greenland amid the fallout from the group Signal chat gone public. Sources tell CBS News President Trump is behind the scenes, venting his irritation. Natalie Brand has the latest.
Vice President J.D. Vance and the Second Lady left for Greenland Friday. Despite pushback from residents and leaders there, President Trump has had his eye on the semi-autonomous Danish territory for what he says are national security reasons.
One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Also making the trip, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. But back in Washington, the fallout is only escalating. Following the revelations this week, a military operation was discussed over the non-government-approved messaging app Signal. Waltz inadvertently invited Atlantic editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg to the group chat.
They had an opportunity to just accept that they made a mistake, tell us how they're going to fix the mistake, and then move on, but they instead went on this weird kind of attack.
While publicly, the administration insists President Trump maintains confidence in his national security team, behind the scenes, sources tell CBS News that the president is privately venting. One official says the issue is still, quote, a hot potato.
A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to preserve the Signal group chat messages where Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth disclosed the timing and aircraft to be used in a strike against Houthi rebels.
Mr. Secretary, are you going to comply with the judge's order to preserve the text?
I'm going to get on the plane.
Hegseth deflected as he left the Philippines, where he attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the Manila American Cemetery. Over on Capitol Hill, there's a bipartisan effort by the Senate Armed Services Committee to investigate classification policies at the Department of Defense. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
According to the White House press secretary, a separate investigation of the incident includes the National Security Council, the White House counsel's office, and also Elon Musk's team. And video captured the moment a strong 7.7 magnitude earthquake rocked Bangkok this morning, causing buildings to sway and water to fall from pools in a high rise. The greater Bangkok area is home to more than 17 million people, many of whom live in high-rise apartments. Originally, there were no immediate reports of damage or casualties. But unfortunately, hours later, it was reported that dozens are now reportedly trapped in a skyscraper collapse after the major quake. This is video of the aftermath. We'll keep an eye on the damage and other reports coming out of that area. Well, the Arkansas Attorney General is warning about a resurfacing text messaging scam. Have you received one of those text messages where it says, "Easy pass, final reminder, you have an outstanding toll"? If so, you're not alone. We're all getting them. The messages say you have to pay by a certain date or face penalties or legal action. Don't click on anything and do not copy and paste any links from that message. According to the AG's office, this toll service scam has been going around since last year, and it may have disappeared for a while, but it's back. The message says that you owe unpaid fees and gives you a link to pay them. But an important thing to remember, Arkansas does not have toll roads, and if you travel into Oklahoma or Texas, don't fall for it.
We'll send you an email. We may send you an invoice through traditional mail, but we do not utilize text messages.
If you get a text, do not send money. Report it on the robocall form that's on the AG's website. Well, trial over the right to build a casino in Russellville ended this week without a verdict. Actually. Cherokee Nation Businesses is suing the state. It's the company that was going to build that casino and resort until voters voted against it in November. Now the company is claiming it should get the license back or at least receive damages for the time and money it put into the project. The state says the move was constitutional, pointing to language that says a casino license is a revocable privilege, meaning it can be taken away. Both sides still need to submit some post-trial documents before the judge can hand down a decision, and those documents are due by April 11th. In Arkansas, lawmakers have proposed a bill that would eliminate 4-day school weeks if it goes into law. Right now, 47 school districts in the state use the 4-day school week. The bill mandates public and charter schools to have at least 178 in-person school days and 1,068 hours of instruction. Lincoln High, which has used a 4-day week for the past 2 years, reports better staff retention and improved student behavior and mental health. Principal Sian Carber calls the bill a direct attack on smaller rural districts.
You're talking about 5,000 educators who had a voice to choose to want to do this. And without question, the State Department and Commissioner Oliva are looking at this bill to try and continue to pressure small schools to ultimately close them down. That's exactly what this is about. If there was one of the major school districts in this state that went to 4 days a week, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Now, if this bill goes into law, 4-day school districts will have to return to a 5-day school week for the 2026 to 2027 school year. Gas prices in Arkansas are on the rise, but they're still lower than last year. Gas prices are up 7 cents from last week, averaging $2.84 per gallon, but they remain 35 cents cheaper than this time last year. Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers has the highest prices at $2.90. Experts say rising demand and the switch to summer blend fuel could push prices higher.
Around springtime in that March and April time frame, gas producers across the U.S. switch over from winter blend gasoline to summer blend gasoline. And very simply put, there's extra additives in summer blend gasoline so that it doesn't evaporate quite as easy in the warmer temperatures. So with that, it costs a little bit more to produce. And so this time of year when that switchover tends to happen, we usually see around, about a 15% increase due to that switchover in the price per gallon at local stations.
With increased demand as we head into warmer months, experts predict a gradual rise in prices. But for now, Arkansas drivers are still seeing significant savings compared to last year. Well, we're hearing from Springdale Mayor Doug Sprouse about plans for community block grants in the coming year. The money comes through the Department of Housing and Urban Development to improve living environments. The mayor says the city's gotten between $800,000 and $900,000 per year through the program for the last several years. And this year, he says the vast majority of the money will go to the city's housing rehab program.
We have a housing rehab program that we run through the city, and for qualifying homeowners, they can get a lot of their needed home improvements done.
Mayor Sprouse says they were able to approve everyone who applied for one of the block grants this year.